Welcome all sports fans, YouTubers, Facebookers, all social media across the nation. This is Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Clayton. Before we get into it, please like and subscribe to both Uneducated Sports Talk and Uneducated Network. Both channels on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to all of that. Hey, this is week 9, and we're going to preview the games from starting in about another 2 hours. Before we get into this, please follow me on Facebook. I'll Facebook Live right before the game starts to give you my predictions as well. My name is Clayton from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Check me out on Facebook Live. We'll be living it up in about another hour and a half. So watch out for that. This will be posted up in about another hour, so stay tuned for that. That being said, our bye weeks consist of Arizona, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, the New York Giants, and the Philadelphia Eagles. A lot of teams on bye week, so it's not that many games to choose from. We have a 12-game slate on this Sunday. So let's get into week 9. Start off with the Falcons at the Redskins. A tough battle. Both teams are still in the thick of things. Both teams could be fighting for a wild card spot. I'm not quite sure. I'm going with the Falcons 23-17 over the Redskins. I have a strange feeling that Matty Ice is going to actually have some magic towards the end. And I think the Falcons defeat the Redskins 23-17, but the Redskins can easily win this matchup. Defense, running game is what the Redskins always bring, but I believe that the Falcons, with their weapons that they have, I think it'll be a little bit too much for the Redskins, even though they're playing on the road and they have struggled on the road. I believe they will find a way to win against the Redskins. 24-33 is going to be the score with the Vikings and the Lions. I got the Vikings at 33, the Lions with 24. In Minnesota, after being beat down like that by the Saints, not really a beat down, but a letdown pretty much, I believe the Vikings will come at home playing against a wounded Detroit Lions team. And you wonder if the Lions kind of melted in by trading Golden Tate to Philadelphia. I don't really get the trade, but I do understand that he's somehow the third or fourth option now. It's basically Galladay's team, and it's Marvin Jones and T.J. Jones and all those guys. So I believe that they said they have enough weapons, and let's kind of simplify the game plan. So I do understand that. But Golden Tate is kind of like the leader, the heart and soul. He's almost like a Hines Ward type, and you figure with the Lions trading him, they kind of gave up on the season. I would hope not, but because they're right in the thick of things in the NFC North, and no one's just outright winning that division. So, big game for both teams in the NFC North. I had the Vikings winning 33-24. Steelers at the Ravens. Another AFC North battle between these two, Joe Flacco versus Ben Roethlisberger, for the 20th time, So this is going to be awesome to see these guys battle out one more time for bragging rights. And I have the Ravens winning 21-18 in a slugfest, a close game. Yes, the Steelers are back again, and their offense and their defense, surprisingly, has lived up to the bill. But the Ravens losing 2 weeks in a row to two tough opponents, NFC South guys, the Saints and the Panthers. The Ravens look to come back at home and show dominance once again. The winner is pretty much going to be first place in the AFC North, and this can go a long way. If the Ravens win, that is a clean sweep over the Steelers. If the Steelers win, got the tiebreaker because you might have the better record when it comes down to the end. So, Chiefs at the Browns. No more Browns upsets of the weeks. We're done with that. We had them, I think, twice in the last 4 weeks with an upset, but it's not happening tonight either. The Browns are going to lose to the Chiefs 30-21, even though it's in Ohio, it's in Cleveland, and Hugh Jackson being let go. I don't really understand why they let Hugh Jackson go. You go 1-15 and 0-16 back-to-back years. You finally win 2 games out of 7 or 8, but you let him go, and you figure, it's right time. It's not really the right time. Baker Mayfield and Ty Haley being gone too, so that's very tough. So now you got a new offense regime, a new offensive coordinator. You got Baker Mayfield, who's going to probably maybe struggle for the rest of the year because of all the turmoil. We really hope not, but in my opinion, out of the quarterbacks who got drafted, he has the biggest rise of all of them. We're going with the Chiefs winning 30-21. Too much Patrick Mahomes, too much Kansas City, too many weapons, and these guys, it's going to be a tougher game than most people think because the Browns always play well on defense and they're very turnover optimistic. So I'm going with the Chiefs 30-21. Jets at the Dolphins. We just heard about an hour ago. It's going to be wet, nasty conditions, muddy. I'm going with the Dolphins win this 24-10 in a slugfest. The Miami Hurricanes and Duke Blue Devils played Saturday last night on that turf, and it was nasty and it was messed up. And Hard Rock Stadium is known for having not the best turf at all. They're gonna try and hook it up, but they said it's just nasty conditions. So good luck, fellas. But we're going to Dolphins 24-10 because they're at home. In our upset of the week, we had the Bears playing against the Bills. The Bills were host. We had the Bills beating the Bears 21-17. Yes, 25-6 was the score last week on Monday Night Football when the Bills played host to the Patriots. But you had to like what you saw, especially from their defense. They held Tom Brady without a touchdown. And you understand it's the Patriots, and your offense is just that hot garbage. Your offense is horrible. You bring Derek Anderson from the streets pretty much to try and help out. And it did not work. But the Bills, nonetheless, I believe will find some offense against this Bears team who isn't the Patriots. So you figure the Bills will do a good job of playing some defense. And the Bills, outside of a few games, maybe 1 or 2 games, the Bills' defense has been lights out this year. So we're going with the Bills 21-17 over the Chicago Bears. I just don't trust Trubisky in this situation. And this is a must-win for the Bears. And will they live up to the hype? I don't think they will. Bills win 21-17. Battle of the NFC South. Panthers play host to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You got a new change now. Ryan Fitzmagic is back at quarterback with Jameis Winston taking a seat again. This might be Jameis Winston's last year. It should be his last year in Tampa Bay. He'll probably look to go somewhere else. Would love to see him in Jacksonville. Just stay warm, brother. Stay warm. And I'm going with the Panthers, winning it 31-23 in a shootout pretty much. But I think that the Panthers with that defense, and it might not be a shootout. The Panthers putting the clamps down. But with Ryan Fitzpatrick, it gives them a better chance to go downfield, deeper chances. I have the Panthers winning this 31-23, but it might not be that close. Cam Newton and company are right behind the Saints, and they want to stay that way. If they can win this and the Saints lose, pretty much they'll be tied in the NFC South, and then that's going to be some crazy stuff going on. All right, now for the later games. Seahawks play host to the Chargers, and this is got to be 2 equal teams. I think the Chargers play just like the Seahawks play. Yes, they're both from different sides of the conferences. Obviously, the Seahawks play in the NFC and the Chargers play in the AFC, but I believe that both teams play the same style of brand. They both love to take deep shots. 1, they both have savvy quarterbacks. 2, they're both opportunistic on defense. 3, and they both are really good teams. Let's just be honest. 5-2 from the Chargers. You got the Seahawks at about 4-3, I believe, or something like that. But they're climbing up there now in the NFC wildcard rankings. I can see the Seattle Seahawks doing some damage. Just because Seattle's at home, I'm going to pick them 17-13 in a close game, a really good defensive battle game, in my opinion. Seahawks win 17-13, which could be probably one of the better games of the week. Texans at the Broncos. My, how things work out so quickly. Demaryius Thomas gets traded from the Broncos to the Houston Texans. Oh, by the way, then the first game you play as a Texan is against your old team, the Denver Broncos. How does that work out? Well, it's going to work out in the Texans' favor. I think revenge is on his mind. Demaryius Thomas wants to show the Broncos, you shouldn't have let me go. But he had the cases of the oopsies all of his career. Maybe he can change things around with Deshaun Watson at quarterback now. Got the Texans winning 27-24 in a very close game. It should be one of the better games of the week with the Chargers and the Seahawks as well. Broncos, they got to win this game and stay in a wild card spot. They're a really good team. They're a really good team for an AFC team. They're pretty good. The Texans have to, they have the driver's seat in the AFC South. They want to continue putting their foot on people's throats. The defense is going to play a key. I think at the end, Watts and Clowney would do a whole lot better than Chubb and Miller. So I'm going with the Texans winning 27-24 at the end of the day. Now, our game of the week, it is going down. And yes, it is the Rams and the Saints. The Saints were in the game of the week last week with the Vikings. Well, they're now in it this week with the Rams. This is going to be a high-powered, high-fast points. I'm telling you guys, it's going to be points. So I'll be shocked if these two teams combine for 40 points or less. I'll be shocked. This is going to be a barn burner. I got the Saints winning 37-33 because they're playing host. If it was opposite, if it was the Rams at home, I would go with the Rams. But it is the Saints in that dome. And this game right here can tell you who's going to be in the driver's seat. Now, Everyone was talking about the Saints schedule and the Rams schedule. I still believe the Rams will be the better team record-wise, but in this particular game, the NFC is going to go to the Saints, 37-33 in a high shootout game. I'm going to love this game from start to finish. I do believe the Rams, with that schedule towards the end, is going to have a better record because the Saints got a gauntlet schedule going towards the end, and it's going to be tough to win all of those games. Because with the Rams looking like all they got rid of the Chiefs and the Seahawks pretty much on their schedule left, who are bona fide teams who could beat them, I don't see the Rams losing any more games if they lose to the Saints, or not many more games. They might lose to the Chiefs. You never know, or the Seahawks. But the Saints 37-33 in a shootout. It's going to be a great game. Get your popcorn ready. Matter of fact, ESPN and folks are in New Orleans right now hosting Sunday Countdown. So I'm excited for all this is going on. The Saints back-to-back weeks. You know I'm a Saints fan, so I love to talk about it. But the offense is going to be explosion. I'm telling you guys, I will be shocked if it's a close, slow, grinded out 24-20 kind of game. I'll be shocked. I think that they'll put up points from both squads. Packers at the Patriots. Sunday Night Football is on the second time Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady will meet up to face each other. And, man, this is going to be a good one from the jump. I like the Michael Jordan commercial where he was hinting that he was talking about him and LeBron James, but at the end of the day, it was talking about Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. This is going to be a classic. This is on their second time meeting with Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers winning the first one that was in Green Bay. Now we're in New England, and this is arguably two of the top 3-4 quarterbacks playing right now, and I'm geeked up to see who's going to win this game. The Packers have got to win. This is a must-win for the Packers, not so much for the Patriots, because the Patriots, they have the rest of their division schedule to go, so they're not worried about that. But the Packers, they gotta win this game to keep in touch. I think they're more desperate. What happened last week in Los Angeles with Montgomery, who was traded, by the way, to the Ravens. So I think they're desperate for a victory, and I'm going with the more desperate team. The Patriots don't lose at home too often. Last time they lost was, I believe, against Kansas City last year. Or they could have lost at home this year, too. I can't remember. They probably have. I have to look back into it. But I had the Packers winning this one 28-27. This time, Aaron Rodgers will lead the game-winning score to win the game. I got a feeling that the Packers are going to beat the Patriots 28-27 in a really, really good game. So far, we got a lot of good games going on, so I'm very excited. And then the Monday Night Football game we've all known about, the Titans and the Cowboys, and this is going to be a defensive battle of the ages. Every time the Cowboys are on Monday Night Football or any kind of primetime game, you know they're going to get the spotlight, unfortunately for most people. but we have the Cowboys win this one 23-17 with new change now. Amari Cooper is in. Will he be that much of a difference maker for the Dallas Cowboys? I don't really think so, but at the same time, the Titans don't give up touchdowns, and that's the Achilles heels to the Cowboys, and they don't give up anything in the run game. So Ezekiel Elliott has to have a special kind of game. Will it happen? I'm not sure. A lot of the emphasis will be on Dak Prescott. Can he lead this team to touchdowns? Because the Titans don't give up touchdowns. They give up field goals, and they don't give up running yards either. So it's all going to fall on Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper, who's the new addition now. We'll see what's going on with these boys. I'm excited for this game. I love defensive battle-minded teams playing against each other. With all this high scoring going on, it's nice to sit down every once in a while and see a grinded out defensive battle. And the Titans and the Cowboys should be that type of game on Monday Night Football. Going with the Cowboys winning 23-17 in a very close game. I'm loving this week right here. A lot of good games. It's only 12 games, but a lot of things matter now. We're into week 9 where things are starting to get tightened up in each division, and we're excited for what is going to happen. So, that's all we got. Check me out on Facebook Live. In about an hour, I'll be on Facebook Live talking about all my stuff, talking about the games of this week, and we'll break it all down. Comment, question, all that stuff. Do what you got to do, man. So, this is Uneducated Sports Talk. I'm your host, Clayton. All sports fans, you guys know what time it is. Stay smart, stay uneducated. Peace.